guys, it's me Gleff back again and welcome back to another video. This is more of a discussion video where I will go over my top 5 Shatters items. And there is plenty of white bags to get from the Shatters. We have the Valor, Sentinel's Sidearm, Vanguard's Visage, Royal Guard's Cuirass, Bracer of the Guardian, Dusky Catalyst, Primal Arcana, Polarity Poison, Vest of Abandoned Shadows, the Twilight Gemstone, Wararmonger, Noble Mandolin, Peacekeeper, Mantle of the Monarchy, and the Forgotten Crown. So, let's jump right into the video. And let's take the best heavy armor in the game. At least it's a top 2 heavy armor in the game, and that is the Royal Guard's Cuirass. On equip, the armor gives you 60 HP, 20 defense, and 10 vitality. And the amazing reactive proc here is when you shoot, when in combat, gain invulnerable for 1.6 seconds. And the cooldown is 20 seconds. And this armor can really be a lifesaver for your melees. In situations like Patience in the Shatters or Moonlight Village during the sick phases, invulnerable is super useful. And before this armor, well, Oreo was the only ability that gave you invulnerable, but now you can have the Oreo and the Royal Guard's Cuirass to give you 2 items that will give you invulnerable. And invulnerable, of course, it's one of the best abilities or effects in the game, since you can't take any damage. So the Royal Guard's Cuirass is really good, and therefore it's one of my top 5 Shatters items in the game. It's decently hard to get. It drops from the tablet after the Twilight Arcmage in the Shatters, and will drop from all the minions that are melee versions, like the Stone Monolith, Stone Knight, Stone Paladin, Stone Warrior. It's a very hard armor to get, and the best chance to get this armor is probably through the Royal Quest Chest, which is the Shatters Quest Chest variant. A really nice armor, but let's jump into one of my favorite abilities from the Shatters. Here we have the Primal Arcana. This is an orb that drops from the Twilight Arcmage, and well, it took me almost a year to get it for the first time, and I didn't know what the fuss was all about. But this ability, well, it gives your Mystic so much more DPS. It goes from being a priest in DPS to a maxed out warrior. It's absolutely insane, and the ability, it costs 105 MP on equip. Not only does it do a lot of damage by itself, it gives you 8 dexterity. And the effect of this ability is that your weapon fires 2 more bullets, each dealing 100 to 120 damage with a cooldown of 0.2 seconds. And the ability, the bullets, does curse, and the shots will hit multiple targets and they will pass through obstacles. And you can see me using the Primal Arcana here. Well, you can see the 8 shots when you press spacebar. It's actually insane how much damage you can do with your Mystic. It's not only giving you bullets from the ability use, it also makes you shoot 2 extra bullets that go from the left and right side of your character into the apex point of your weapon. So this is an item you want to use if you really want to elevate your Mystic from doing mediocre DPS to insane amount of DPS. And one of the best things about the Primal Arcana is that it does not stasis. Sometimes you don't really want to stasis the enemies. It can hinder groups from going into rooms and clearing, for example, lost halls. Stasising enemies can be both dangerous for your like friends in the dungeon, but also just making it more efficient to being able to curse enemies without stasising them. So this is a really good ability, and if you have a Mystic and want it to be good, well, you should go for getting the Primal Arcana. Okay, we just took an ability. Let's jump into a weapon. So, the Dusky Catalyst. I thought that this was the shittiest items before it got buffed insanely. I thought that Deca had not buffed this weapon, but I took a look on RotMG when I did my Priest PPE and saw, wait, it's changed. It doesn't give you silenced anymore. So before, when you were shooting, it would give you silenced, which is just completely unexplainable bad for your wand classes to get silenced. If you're a priest, you don't want to get silenced. If you're a sorcerer, you don't want to get silenced. Maybe if you are a summoner. So the Dusky Catalyst, it has one shot, and the damage is average 143, and the projectile speed is really fast. It's 20 tiles per second. The range is 8 tiles, so that is not either bad. Reduces the magic casting cost of your ability by 5%. So that is nice if you combine it with a mad robe or a ring that decreases your MP cost. That is nice. The rate of fire is 150%, and on equip it will give you +5 wisdom. But the only drawback this wand has, well, on shoot, when in combat, your whiz decreases by 10 for 1 second. But that is not that much when your magic casting cost ability is cut by 5%. And this wand is really good. I didn't believe this, but Deca made this so good. And I could argue in some sense that this wand is the best of wands. It's the best in slot for your wand characters. It's really good. Cutting your ability cost by 5%. It does a lot of damage. It's easy to use, and it shoots very fast and gives you 5 wisdom, and the only drawback is just -10 whiz, which is nothing. So if you have a wand character, well, go for this wand. And the shiny version also is really cool. And what can I say? Another weapon. Well, we have the Wararmonger. And the Wararmonger, well, if you saw my top 10 bows, well, it's up there as the best bow in the game. And this bow, it's just insane. It shreds everything. The drawback is so minimal. The damage is 95 to 110, average 102 for 2 bullets, so total of 205. The projectile speed is very fast, and the range is 8, as the same as the Dusky Catalyst. And on equip, it gives you merely 5 vitality. It's not that much, but on shoot, well, the only drawback is that you decrease your dexterity by 5. And it's the same arguments as the Dusky Catalyst. It's just a really good weapon. It shoots very fast, it's a lot of damage. The only drawback could be using this on high defense enemy bosses, and then maybe a Doombow or a Clockwork Repeater would be better. But other than that, use the Wararmonger, for fuck's sake. Use it on your bow characters, it's really good. And if you're a bard, it's even better. The long range will get increased, and it's just, it's so much good at the same time. The Wararmonger is amazing, and the shiny version is also insanely good. So yeah, you use it for fuck's sake. And let's do the last item here, and it's of course the Twilight Gemstone. I don't think it maybe was of course, but this ring is really interesting, and it's more interesting than the bracer and the crown. And on equip, the Twilight Gemstone gives you 110 MP, 8 defense, 5 speed, and 5 wisdom. But the big thing here, you might say, there's no HP gain. Why should I use it? Well, it reduces the magic casting cost of your ability by 20%. 20% is very much. If you have an ability like the Escutcheon or the Vanguard's Visage, the helmet from the first boss, well, you can spam your ability so much. And if you have more reducing percent on items for your ability cost, well, you can spam even more. And the good thing is that there's now a lot of enchantments that will give you HP. You have a life bonus, pure life bonus, then you have life trade-off with another stat. You can get high HP enchants on this ring, and then well, it will give you HP, so there's nothing to complain about. And if you have a character that uses your ability a lot, and for damage, or let's say for example healing you like the priest or necromancer, well, you can cast so many more abilities while using the Twilight Gemstone. And I think it's the most interesting ring out of the 3 from the Shatters. I can see that the bracer and crown is a little bit lackluster. I think that the crown deserves a really good buff, but yeah, I'm not sure what it would do. But I wouldn't say that the Twilight Gemstone is underrated, but it's not overrated either. So it's somewhere in the middle. If you can combine it right with your items, well, you can be a very powerful character. And combining them with the other amazing 4 items that I've talked about today, well, your character will be the best. You will get the best loot, and yeah, it's the best. So, which item here did shock you with being my top 5 items from the Shatters? Well, we have some honorable mentions like the Sentinel Sidearm, which is one of my favorite wakasashis in the game. You have the Vanguard's Visage. You can do a lot of damage with your ability on a warrior, and that is not normal. You have the Polarity Poison, which is really bad. I don't like it. And the Peacekeeper, it's really lame. The Noble Mandolin, it's really lame. You have the Forgotten Crown, which is really lame. But yeah, do you agree with me with my top 5 items? Which 5 items are your favorite from the Shatters? Comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys later in another video.